Pack Nation, Pack Nation. Welcome to Packing with Gary. We're going to discuss the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between, and everything on Wolfpack basketball. Today, I got Justin Gainey did us a favor and did a little short presser, about 20 minutes, answered some questions right before practice. And, we got to talk about it. I want to know how you all felt about what he said. If you haven't caught it, don't worry. I'm going to hit the highlights. I got a few things that, caught my attention. But, I did want to touch base with y'all and get the vibe and see what you thought. So, first, I do want to, go ahead and shout out some major supporters of Packing with Gary. These are they're members in the den. So I want to go ahead and acknowledge them. If you will, just give me a moment here. We're going to talk about these guys, and they might be in here already. They might not, but hopefully, by the time I get to their shout out, they're here. If not, hopefully you guys see it on the replay. I do appreciate your support. It's very, very important to me, so thank you. So shout out to Chester Loggins, 9490, 6'5" in Florida, 36. And Bob Funk, 6749. He's here. Normally, Bob, I don't know if you're here yet, but pretty sure you might tap in. So thank y'all for your support, for real. Let's talk about our guy Gainey. All right. So much we can get to. First, he seems very, very excited. Okay. He likes the team. They seem to be communicating well, which is always big. He said they communicate like a veteran squad. Pack, we know communication is big. You definitely need that on defense, right? So the fact he's saying that about these guys, it gives me a little bit of relief, I guess, because, we don't know just yet. We have to go off of just little snippets. But they play hard. That's another thing he mentioned. And so if they play hard and they communicate well, that's a good foundation, right? He said you're going to worry about the details, about the, plays and all that stuff later on. Right now, he just focused on making sure these guys play hard, which does not seem to be an issue. And they communicate well, but you need communication on defense. They like each other, it seems. They want to do team things together. These are big things when, you're bringing together a whole lot of new cats that don't know each other, right? So hopefully there's no egos right now, which it doesn't seem to be any of that. So that's a plus. Look at some things he covered here. He did mention about Shaw Hall and how he's raw, but he moves different on the court. He's super athletic. He's further along than what Coach thought he would be. And look, if you've been rocking with, us for a while now, I've said in my other content, Shaw Hall is going to be a problem. And I think he's underestimated. And if this guy can pick stuff up quick, he's coming for somebody's spot. He's too athletic to keep off the court. So really, really looking forward to that. Main points that Gainey covered were defending, rebounding, and taking care of the basketball, right? He feels like right now that's what they need to focus on. That's what they're emphasizing. If they take care of that part, then they're good. That's a solid foundation. It keeps you in all games if you can do that. It travels, right? You don't have to worry about, oh, my shot's off, yada, yada. Look, you defending, rebounding, and you not turn the ball over, you give yourself a shot in most games. So, I like that approach. I believe Corey at Pack Power Of course, if it wasn't you, I'm sorry, but if it was somebody else, I'm just not exactly sure who that was. But I think he asked about the international trip. Um, it's July, so it doesn't seem that Pac's going to take an international trip. At least he hasn't focused on that. Coach said they haven't really brought that up just yet, but in the future it might be a thing. So, I know it's always good for the team to go play professional players, abroad and in those leagues and get smacked up or do some smacking, depending on how good your team is. But it's a good litmus test, right? Go get these guys who've been playing, grown men or dudes that have been playing professionally for a long time. And so I wish that they would go ahead and knock that out, but I get it. And he got to get some stuff in position first before he makes that type of move. So that's cool. One thing, guys, that I thought was interesting is Coach talked about pushing them just really, really hard and making them, uncomfortable, probably to a point where, they don't like you in the moment, but they still respect you. I like that, right? I don't need my coach being buddy with the players. I know they got, there's players, coaches, but there's levels to it, right? You don't have to be the coach where the player just feels he can do whatever, or there is a lack of respect. There needs to be a healthy balance of, hey, I'm here for you, but probably needs to be more of a father figure than a brother or a friend, right? Like I've always liked coaches that put a little bit of fear in their players. So I'm not saying there's fear there, but obviously he's going to push these guys to a point they probably haven't been pushed before. And that's cool with me. I like that. The big thing, we'll go ahead and talk about it. I've been on record saying Paul McNeil, when it comes to leadership, is not that guy. I've said it. Now, Coach, sounds like he's going to make me eat my words. I love it. Okay, I want to be wrong about this. The way Paul moved in the offseason had me like, I don't really know, my guy. Like you supposed to be our leader, but there's a whole lot of rumblings about you being indecisive, not because you didn't know where you wanted to be, because you had people in your ear. So hopefully what Coach is saying, and Coach has said, Paul has grown into, is growing into being a better leader, right? He's got a temperature of the team, understanding what they may need. He reaches out to Coach and lets him know that. It seems to be that he's more vocal. I'm cool with all that. If Paul is going to step into that role naturally, Paul, let's get it, man. Because that was a big question for me. Who is going to step up and be our leader? I mean, it's like of all these guys, there's only really maybe 3 that probably have the cachet at this point to be like, look, y'all need to listen to me. But Paul is one of those guys. It's like, yo, it's your team, so it's perfect if we can lean on him. So that was interesting to hear. I mean, maybe Gaines heard rumblings of people questioning who, the leader is going to be or something like that. But he's saying right now, Paul's that guy. Okay. Let me get caught up on y'all comments real quick. Clyde Gaddis, welcome to the live. Let's see. I believe you cause you know what you're talking about. Well, I appreciate that, Clyde. Some think that, some don't. Bradley says, I'm not buying it either, though. He's a solid role, 3-point assassin. And me will be leader, I believe. Bradley, and that's where I'm at, man. Like, to me, Ed Mead seems like the leader. Of course, he's the point guard, but Gainey talked today like he's a dog. Like he has that sort of leadership mentality. And I know it's not his team and it's supposed to be Paul, but maybe we have a situation where, Paul's the leading scorer, but Preston's the like vocal leader, getting your face, get everybody together, back on track. We tripping, let's get in the gym, all that stuff. He might be the one to hold people accountable. I don't know. But yeah, coach said it, so we gotta see, man. MK Sneeze said he gained some muscle. I think we talking about, Paul. Coach did cover a lot of people that in the strength and conditioning have put on weight or lost weight, right? Mikey losing weight, EY losing weight, and then the scrawnier guys gaining weight, which is a positive. I do like that, the guys are developing in the offseason. I feel like that is the big thing that coach has to be good at. If you are not going to have the NIL to go buy the best players, this relationship building only going to go so far. So he's got to do what he's done, go find some diamonds and gems and with that, develop those guys if they're not quite ready and get every ounce of potential out of them, right? So it's good to see that they are definitely improving in the weight room because I don't want to see our boys get pushed around or look out of shape. Probably says, I think Edmead might still be the leading scorer. That's a take right there, Bradley. So you're talking about Edmead pretty much showing up, just taking over this team. Not only is he the vocal leader, but also our leading scorer. Hey, where they talking about him putting it up and how he should, jump on the scene and surprise everybody. Gonna have some 30-point games. I can't disagree with you. I hope you're wrong just because of what we paid for Paul and what he put us through. It's like I don't want to be salty when I see Paul come back to campus, right? He's always going to be welcome and loved for being loyal. But at the same time, I got this bad taste in my mouth from how he stalled us out over the summer. And we just had all these guys just bouncing, checking us out, then leaving. And I don't know if it's us telling them no or us saying we got to wait and see. And they move on. So for us to go through that, and then him to come back and just be nah, man, that's not going to work for me. Like, I appreciate the loyalty, but, we were begging for you because we felt you were going to take a step forward. And I just feel like he has to do that. He's got to be the guy. I have no issues with Edmead. He can be 1B, but I need Paul to be 1A. Okay? Like, it is. I mean, we could look at this a scenario like we've got Iron Man and Captain America type scenario, but I don't know. Paul has to be the man for me. Let's see. Clyde says, I understand it's frustrating. I don't understand it. Is not sure what you're talking about, Clyde. It's correct when it's changed a top 25. Benjamin, okay. Y'all, let's see what Benjamin talking about. Benjamin says it's Benjamin Orman, excuse me. P2 and Bailey are in the same spot. I hear you. Like, but my thing with Bailey is CJ Bailey has, well, you're right on this. P2 and CJ have gotten better each year, right? Thrown into the, well, I'll say thrown into, but played a little bit as freshmen. Then really the sophomore year is the year they come out, and then boom, this is supposed to be the year when they pop off. The difference is I feel CJ Bailey is, I guess, more of a leader because he's the quarterback. And last year he was the leader. He had practice at it, right? He's got 1 year under his belt of being the voice in the locker room and gaining everybody's respect. And he didn't stall us out in the portal. Okay. My man was like, boom, I'm coming back. Let's keep it moving. It's just with Paul, man, he's just has never been in that role. I don't know. Maybe he was in it in high school, but we talking about year 3 in college, and we know he wasn't talking last year on that team. That was all Copeland. So I don't know, Benjamin. I don't know. I hear what you're saying in the similarities, but I got way more confidence in CJ Bailey on the football field as a leader than I do P2 at this point. Bradley says, I know it's good to be positive. I still don't think Paul is that guy to be the guy, especially if it means being a dangerous team. God, to be the guy. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, as you've heard, man, I'm in line with you on that. Coach, he talked about EY and EY, the surprising presence of EY in the paint, his ability to play with his back to the basket and get be a post presence, which is good because, we were talking about, all right, we know we got guard play and shooting, but if we need a bucket inside, who we going to throw it to? Our guy Evans, we talk about him being the defensive anchor, but you throw the ball in there and have him making post moves. Mikey, we know, can make post moves, but how much is he going to play? We don't know yet. I'm thinking a whole lot, which we'll get to that in a moment. So we were like, who is our guy we can throw it to in the post? It sounds like EY is one of them, which is not surprising. Been on record saying I think he's an upgrade of Darian Williams, the one that we had last year, not overall in skill set and talent, but the one that played for NC State, he's an upgrade. He's bigger, and obviously you're going to be able to throw it to him in the post and let him do his thing. So I like that. Mikey, look, coach is still excited about Mikey. I told y'all, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Mikey's going to be a problem. I checked that early in his last presser. He was like beaming talking about this guy. He still feels that way. He feels like, it's fun watching him grow. He thinks he could be special. Like when coaches start using special on players and they push you real hard, that's like a huge, huge compliment. First off, we're not talking like, oh, he could be good. Special is a whole nother level. Now, I don't know what he showed this guy other than dropping this weight and being really committed and being coachable. But there's something there, guys, and I'm telling you, you're not keeping Mikey off the court. I got people talking about, oh, Mikey going to get some spot minutes. Stop it. He's potentially going to start before the season's over with. At this trajectory and the way coaches feeling about him, man, Mikey's about to be a problem, guys, and that's huge for us. I'm really, really excited because nobody's really counting on Mikey to be a major contributor on this team. I know they're not. So it might surprise some folks. Let me get caught up on what y'all talking about here. First off, 6'5" in Florida, 36. Thank you. I appreciate you. Did coach say anything about the two remaining scholarship spots? I think he has two international ringers up his sleeve. So good question. Um, so coach did speak about that. He said he left those spots open on purpose. He because you just never know with the way things are going on in college basketball. I don't know if he's referring to the 5 for 5 and if some guys win some court challenges, court cases, and are able to play another year. I don't know what he's speaking about, but he said that he left those on. He likes to do that, to leave a couple of spots on purpose just in case something happens. He has the flexibility to go get somebody. So he might have somebody already up his sleeve, but he say like it's 13 guys that he has. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's see. Jonathan Gatlin, let's see. I have to ask, are we expecting me to be that guy that goes and gets you a bucket, or is that not the type of offense we are running? Yeah, man, like the vibe I'm getting. So coach is not giving us a whole lot about offense right now. He's not even focused on that as much. Um, he says he's focusing on, defense right now. He feels like the offense is going to take care of itself. They'll get shots. They'll get plenty of open shots. To me, it sounds like we know Ed Mead can get a bucket off the dribble. So I'm assuming that um, he'll probably be the primary person to go get you a bucket if the play breaks down or it's late in the shot clock. Unless your boy Paul adds something to his game where he can start getting shots off the dribble. Um, it's probably going to be Ed Mead to be the one bailing us out. Jack Simpson says, said it since last year, Gary. Mikey will be a starter. Book it. I hear you, Jack. Jonathan Gatlin says, Gary and I have been on Mikey and Darius Adams. Y'all been asleep. Facts. Bradley M. Outside shooting will be fine. I agree. I want solid competitive inside post play. Yeah, and coach talked about his bigs and what each brings to the table. He says Robert Jurkovic has like a European savvy to his game. The ball doesn't stick with him, so he moves it around. That's cool. And I like that. It's pretty much what I expected them to say. But again, y'all know I'm not a fan. It's another big body, so I'll take that. But I'm not a fan. In the ACC, I'm not a fan. I just feel like guys are just so bouncy and athletic. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a problem, but we shall see. He talked about, we covered Shaw, we covered Mikey, we covered Robert. He likes the way that Evans moves around, not just blocking shots, but it seems to be, he's good moving his feet and being able to get out on the perimeter and guard. So that's a positive. Yeah, I mean, that's all positives right there. Jonathan Gannon says there are a couple of guys who won court cases that I would like to go get. Yeah, can we afford them? That's the thing. So if these guys win these court cases, I've been paying attention. Last time we had a live, I believe Eddie Thomas was who was bringing up people winning these court cases in some of these other conferences or whatnot. And if that happens and somebody becomes available, it does have me wondering, like Gainey left 2 spots open, but with the 2 spots, how do you finagle the money, right? Like how do you say, look, we can afford you? Because I feel like we don't spend most of it. But I would love to see us land somebody big that just tips the scale for us. That would be fun. Bob, hey, hey, hey. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Hope you caught the beginning of the live. If not, sorry, watch it back. I gave you a shout out. Appreciate your support. Chester, I appreciate the gift. Hey, big time support there. I appreciate you. Jack says, is the Carolina non-conference game been confirmed? Yeah, I believe so. Now, I haven't seen anything about tickets being sold or anything like that just yet, but I think it's confirmed. It's a good question. I'll look and see if I can see somebody being confirmed, but to my understanding, it's happening. They just got to settle in on who's going to put their name on it and sponsor it or whatnot. But other than that, I think we're pretty much good to go. All right. Let me get caught up with you all here. So, some other things we haven't talked about. The team seems to be unselfish to a fault, right? They pass up shots. He said a little bit of, they pass up a shot to get a good shot to get a better shot, which is what you want. But it seems he wants them to shoot some of these shots they have. So we might have a team that overpasses sometimes. Hopefully they get that figured out before the season starts, especially conference play. Because you know how frustrating that could be, right? Somebody got an open shot. And they trying to move the ball one more time. And then now the person who didn't expect it gets it last, shoots and misses, or because they thought you were going to shoot, ends up being a turnover, that type thing. So hopefully we get that figured out, because I don't want to see guys just frustrating the heck out of us by not taking open shots. Bob says, I like the S&C development. Guys are getting in big time shape. Yeah, Bob, we need that. We need the guys that were a little heavy to lose weight. That's big, like Mikey. EY getting, EY wasn't even big. So the fact he's getting cut up is big. And our scrawny guys putting on weight. We know Paul he could probably add another 10, 15 pounds. But I'm interested to see how adding that muscle affects his game, right? I'm hoping it gives him more confidence of, playing bigger, not being afraid to go in there in the paint, helps him finish. We shall see. But definitely a good sign when the strength and conditioning is working. John Gatlin says, I like Sean Phillips from Missouri and Jalen Quinn if we add more guys. Now, Sean, is that the Sean that we had before? Or is this another Sean Phillips that you're talking about? Maybe the guy wasn't even Sean Phillips. I don't remember his name. But I feel it was a Sean. Y'all let me know. I'm looking to see your guy from Dayton, Ohio. No, that's not him because he's a senior. Okay, 7 foot 245. Yeah, definitely we need to add another big. You're right. All right, what else am I thinking that we need to discuss? Oh, how about the defensive philosophy? So, coach was asked about his defensive philosophy, and it's pretty much protect the paint at all costs. All right, so let's think about that. We're gonna pressure the ball a little bit. He says that Mead is a dog. He's gonna be up on the ball, really getting into people, and he want the other guards to be like him. So it seems that Mead's the standard. Okay, Preston and Mead is the standard. All right, he is obviously showing that defensively, that's what everybody needs to be doing and trying to bring these other guys along to his level, which is interesting, right? You run the point and you locking up. I like it. Should have a lot of steals, turnovers, whatever. But protect the paint at all costs. And he broke it down means, you got to have a fix it mentality. He's already calling me the junkyard dog, right? But if something happens where somebody else misses their assignment or out of place, somebody else has to cover that mistake. You got to fix it. So I like that. I don't want guys playing defense like, oh, that wasn't my man, or oh, you got beat. That's your fault. Nah, this mentality of fix it, meaning, oh, we about to give up an open layup. I got to get there, is big. Now, the downside I see to that is with shot blockers. If you get two of these cats trying to go after block shots, they got to have some discipline, right? Guard or somebody gets a wing, gets to the paint, and then they're met by a defender who's a shot blocker, right? Pump fake, he goes flying. Okay, help side defender comes. He's a shot blocker. He goes for the block, and then it's a drop off pass to the person that was behind them that came, cutting to the basket. Like that happens all the time. And two dudes go to block shots and they leave the backside open. Hopefully that don't happen. But if you got to fix the mentality, it's possible, right? Because then when that second guy come over, now somebody else got to come down to take the pass away. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But he did say they communicate well. So hopefully, we don't have people getting cut up and sliced on our defense. Another point that I caught was he was asked about what he would consider a success this year, right? And this was the most coach speak answer I've heard from him in a while, probably since his press conference, the introductory press conference. Coach said he's not going to judge it off wins and losses, but if guys improved. I hear you, Coach. That sounds good. But it's definitely wins and losses. I don't even want to hear, oh, we got better throughout the season and we had a losing season. Like it's not going to fly. And I know that's not, what he meant, guys, but it was just how he said it. They had me like, oh my gosh, just tell us what we want to hear. Oh, we make it the tournament, or we're a certain level in the ACC. Like I know he's not that type of coach, and we had that coach and didn't work out well. But to hear, everybody got better, which means that if they got better, we should win more games. I get it, but we can't do much with that. So that was a little aggravating. Coach speak, not giving us much. I think there was one more thing I wanted to cover with you all. Oh, the thing we're going to see like on the jerseys and stuff like that is connect, develop, compete. Um, I guess it's like the motto of the program right now. So, okay. I mean, connect, develop, compete. That goes in with what he's saying. He wants guys to develop and get better. I get that. The challenge is coach is really leaning into this relationship thing, right? And for me, I'm like, relationships are built and then these kids start chasing money, right? Let's say coach does a phenomenal job and he develops all these guys. And then the transfer portal opens and they start throwing bags at him. They're gonna roll out. They're gonna be like, look, coach, I like you and you my guy. I want to play for you, but such in the SEC is gonna give me $4 million. Can you pay me $4 million? And then the other player comes back, hey coach, such and such is trying to give me da da da. Like it's inevitable in college basketball. We know that's what we're in until they start changing some stuff. We know that's what we're dealing with. Guys chasing bags. I don't think this whole relationship thing is going to play a part. Maybe more so in high school, but we're going to see. If coach can manage to keep his talent that he's developing more than other coaches, because he's not going to go 100%. But as long as you keep your potential stars for the upcoming season or potential starters, I think it'll be cool. So we just got to see if he's able to manage that. I just don't know. He makes me nervous with all that. All right, Bob Funk says Embiid needs to put on muscle. He's too small. Watch the Alabama game. Every time he drove to the lane, he got knocked around. Ended up on the floor with the ball bouncing off the rim. All right, I'll go check that out. I mean, a lot of smaller guards need to put on muscle. Like if you're a smaller guard, that's one thing that you can affect. You can't get taller, so you got to be strong. So yeah, hopefully he does that. Christopher Burke says, "What's up, Gary? What's up, Chris? Love the presser. Hoping Gainey works out. Love the energy and the attention to detail, especially on defense. Absolutely. We talked about it earlier. I think what we all can get excited about as Pack fans is that our team is going to play defense and play hard, right? So you're not going to go there and watch a game in Lenovo and be embarrassed by effort, right? For me, as a person that goes to all the home games, that's the most frustrating part for me. As a Pack fan, we know it's a roller coaster, right? We have highs, we have lows, we have the head scratching losses. Like we're like, yo, we should not have lost to that team. We have those. I get it. But when I see a team out there just half assing it, it is so frustrating to me. And it's not enjoyable to watch at all. Even when we're winning, like if I see that we winning a little bit and the game is close, and I'm like, they're not even playing hard. It's bothersome. It's not just about the W for me. So I do think Gainey is going to have these guys playing so hard that we will be proud of their effort, potentially even in a loss. So that's a good thing. Benjamin Orman says we need to land a guard forward to set Broughton right now. Listen, Jordan Page is my number one priority also. Unfortunately, he is leaving Broughton for his senior season. He's going to one of those prep schools. Don't ask me who it is right now off the top of my head. Let's see. He is going to IMG. Okay. So no more Broughton. But hopefully this is where Gainey's relationship building comes into place, because he is not going to be right there down the road. You just like, oh, come up this weekend, yada yada. Like, my man's going to be at IMG, and that's good because he's finally going to play against like elite level talent all season. But I'm concerned about us getting him. Like, of all the big time players, this is like a TJ Warren thing for me. Okay. We had to get TJ Warren, right? Just for his connection with NC State. This is that again. We need Jordan Page. If we don't get the other guys out of North Carolina, cool. I understand. It's asking a lot for Gainey to come in and land 3 5-stars in his first year. It'd be going into his second year. But you got to get this one. Like, you could throw a rock and hit his gym. Like, you got to get this one. And I'm hoping with him leaving, it doesn't cause an issue. But we shall see. Yeah, he's going to IMG makes me think. Oh, Jack Simpson, him going to IMG makes me think he's going to not stay local. So I'm really, I hear you, Jack. I don't know. I mean, he could still be like he wants to go to, one of the other 2 schools in North Carolina. But yeah, I don't know. We shall see. Uh-oh. Everyone else has said he's not going to state. That's why he's out of here. I mean, so y'all tell me, if he were needing to go to a prep school for his senior year and he was going to stay local, what school would he go to? Like, IMG is a pretty good choice compared to, what he probably has as options here. I believe he plays with Garner Road, AAU. So I don't know. We shall see. But definitely got my fingers still crossed on Jordan Page. I'm not giving up on Jordan Page. Like, I'm hoping Gainey and this relationship building. He's been recruiting him since at Tennessee. So he didn't just get to NC State and was like, hey, come over here, see what we're doing. We got some shiny stuff. Nah, he been on them. So all of this, it's about building relationships. Hey, you gotta walk it like you talk it. I need to see if this relationship building stuff is actually working. Because if you've been recruiting a guy for years, and then he leave, and then all of a sudden he don't even come to your school when he was right up the road, I'm not buying it. Christopher Burke says winning will sure help things with him. Maybe not a lot, but a good year helps. A good year helps with every single North Carolina recruit, all recruits, but definitely the North Carolina ones. CJ Rosser already said he watching to see how the year play out, right? So we got his eye, but it's going to take, some bread for these guys, and it's going to take us winning. And I don't know. I'm nervous. But I'm having my fingers crossed the whole time, guys. I'm hoping we get them. And everyone else said, I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're wrong too, Everett. Like, I don't want you to be right. Christopher Burr said, also, it's about that money. Better be ready to pay up for a 5-star. Absolutely. I have said this. All of the big-time donors that pretty much influence decisions in our athletic department and basketball team. Listen, if Gainey does enough to get you in the mix to offer these high school players some money, pony up. Like, I mean, we've been asking for somebody that could do this. We got to make it happen, man. We got to make it happen. So, Jack Simpson says, of the 3, are we a realistic destination for any of them? Yeah. I think definitely with Page. Page has, so we probably have the best chance with him for a number of reasons, not just him being local or at Broughton. He had already he's taken multiple visits and has a good idea about NC State and what it has to offer. He's familiar with Gainey because he, was recruited by him at Tennessee. And he's a defensive-minded player. He likes playing defense. So if you like playing D, the school to go to is the guy who emphasizes defense. Like, I think it's a perfect marriage. But we're going to see. We are going to see. I'm just like, for this kid will be a hometown hero. Hero. Kids don't want to be heroes anymore. That's the thing for me. Like, how hard of a sell is that? To be like, look, you come to this school, you're going to be the guy. And whenever you come back home, everybody's going to be on your jock. Like, I don't get why that's not a sell by itself, in addition to, of course, the money that we're going to pay them. But it seems like that's not enough for some of these kids. They don't care. They don't want to be like the main guy on a lot of these teams. I don't understand. I don't get it, y'all. Don't get it. So let me see if there's something else that I was going to cover with you all that we haven't talked about just yet. I think we got through it all. Oh, Coach did talk about. Oh man, so he had a lot of coach responses. Coach speak, where he was asked the question, and he just gave us the fluff. He was asked about his non-conference schedule. Who does he want to play? Right. Coach said, I want to play teams that prepare us for the tournament. Coach, we know that. Everybody wants to play a team that prepares them for the tournament. We get that. And, he goes to elaborate like, a team that presses or a team that does this. Look, man, we want to know, are you going to play big-time schools? Like, are you going to play a brand name that we know? That's what we're asking. I need some of these reporters to stop being nice and ask the question, man. Like, just say, look, are you going to play powered 5, or I guess it's P4 level opponent? Are you going to get some home games, some home and home setup that the fans going to be excited about? And then let them say, I don't know. But man, he just wasn't giving us much on that. That was tough also. Christopher said, you're right. Most want that money. Yeah, they do. All right, Pack. So look, that's pretty much covers what Coach had to say today. It doesn't seem like you all have too many more comments here. Oh, hold up. We got Christopher Burke. I'm gonna make sure I don't leave you all with stuff not talked about. A lot of that is still in process, I hear, schedule-wise. I think it will be a good one. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be finalized. They haven't sent that out. I'm hoping we add some home games because as a season ticket holder, and I already got my ticket, or should I say I already paid for my tickets. I'm not hyped about our home schedule at all. It's bad. And I didn't know it was going to be this bad before, I bought. It wouldn't have changed anything, but, man, it's real bad. So I'm hoping we get something good. But, yeah. Y'all got anything else y'all want to talk about? Anything that popped out about Gainey? If not, then, it'll be the next time that you and I chat, and we'll talk about something else. I got some things in line for you that if you haven't joined the den, they're going to come out on the den, so you might want to look into that. And as always, Pack Nation, I want to tell y'all, thank you. Please like, subscribe, share the channel. We got to get our Wolfpack family on here giving us their 2 cents. We want this to be a community where we we hear everybody's perspective. Okay. And Christopher, I appreciate that, man. I'll try. Until next time, go Pack.